They are consistent.
Yes. All right. Coach Ben, thank you very much for joining me today. It is your evening and my fucking morning. But you've won the highlight reel challenge now 2 times, so I owe you $100.
Let's go. You're matching my Instagram income already.
Oh shit, really? I'm matching the Instagram income already?
2 times through and you're already matching me. Look at you, big dogging it up.
What can I say, man? I got those deep pockets.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's cool. So last time we talked, you told me you had to get 9.5 million views to get what, like $1,500?
8,500.
8,000
for 9.25 million views.
Well, $8,000 is nothing to laugh at, but over 9 million views. Like, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. Like I've got a couple of things that have gone viral before, 500,000 views here and there. And like, dude, we're talking once, and I've maybe got 2,000 posts. And a good handful of those posts are in the 15, 20, 30,000 range. A couple in the hundreds. And I'm nowhere near a million. And I've been on Instagram since the very beginning of it, you know? And that's just views, you know? It's wild.
So like Instagram, I guess monetization of content almost requires you to really make it a full-time job.
Yeah. Like the people that I know about that are making like legitimate money on, say, Instagram, they've got lighting setups, a $3,000 camera, you know, a studio room, green screens, like the good kind, not like the Reels story green screen, but like legit. Very similar to like the guys on Twitch and like YouTube gaming. Like these guys got $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 computers and they play 6 or 7 hours a day. You know,
yeah.
And it's a full-time job.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the problem, especially if you're trying to be an aspiring athlete. Is at being an athlete's a full-time job.
Yeah, you know, you had guys like Shorty Torres who did amazing stuff with their social media and getting a crazy fan base. But you know, Shorty's an outlier. You know, this is a guy that had hundreds of amateur fights. You know, hundreds of Muay Thai fights, 100 kickboxing matches. He fought in the 100-man Kumite in China as a teenager, like a multiple-time IMMAF like champion. So that when he went pro and was like an 0-0 professional, he already had, you know, a following of 50, 60,000 viewers. You know, but that's an anomaly.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, really trying to grow your fan base on social media is something that, like, I mean, so many people put a lot of time and effort in just to researching how to do that.
Yeah. And the thing is why I'm doing it wrong, because I'm just kind of doing whatever I want to do.
But isn't that it should actually work?
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Like, I'm here in my creative space to do whatever I want to do. And I mean, I'm a pretty like blue comedy guy. Like I like a dark and pretty, you know, so you can't even really be yourself because then you get, you know, in trouble. So you can't even do that. But, you know, that's the business, I guess. There's plenty of places where you can do whatever you want, and they're just, you know, awful.
Well, you know, we're working towards making Combat Matrix a place to where you can do and say what you want. Because
that's amazing. But like then you end up with like a Reddit where like MMA subform, white MMA only. You know, that like the whatever, say whatever you want comes with like a lot of bullshit too, you know?
Yeah, it does. But I think it's time. I mean, we speak to each other differently. We communicate in a different way than normal people communicate with each other.
I think that's true. fighters have like a kind of bond, most like a trauma bond that people in the military have, because you just know that if you're at any level where I should know who you are, you've been through horrible shit.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and so like that kind of, it's not great for social media, right? Because just our sense of
It's ugly.
yeah.
Yeah. It's really gritty. It's like cowboy western, like spit on the floor kind of shit.
Yep. Yeah, exactly why we want to give fighters a safe space to communicate with one another. To where I get that, there'll be a lot of crazy shit that comes along with it, but
yeah, you'll deal with it as it arises.
yeah,
It's like back in the day. I don't know. Well, pre-social media, we used to get together on forums. Offtopic.com, MMA.tv, SureDog, Full Contact Fighter,
yep,
and a lot of these places were legitimately no holds barred. And when things would get way too crazy, because also in the dark days of MMA, like the only people interested were outliers. You
yeah,
know, then you saw sub forums like, oh, this is our normal forum where you have to behave like a real person, and this is the unedited forum where you can do whatever you want. And that worked pretty good because if you wanted to get scummy, you go where the scumbags go, and if you wanted to talk sport, you go where the sports talk is.
yep, yeah, and we're working to recreate that. But now, like,
Awesome. I really missed that shit. That stuff was great. I had such a good time with forums.
well, like back in the day, like people, like real people, like um, real fighters used to actually go on ShareDog and leave comments and post and actually interact with people.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever got a contract to fight. Gary Goodridge's wife read the contract for me, and I met them through ShareDog's forum, like the fighters sub forum. I remember having like month-long conversations with Remco Pardue, and like all the like, dude, Don Fry used to be on there. Everyone was on there, and it was so cool. You'd get like an email notification. Don Fry replied to your post. And you're like, holy shit!
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that those days have kind of passed, but
It's impossible to keep up because now the superstars of our era can still go to Publix or can still go to the
yeah,
mall because they were only superstars to 40,000 people like nationally. Bro,
yeah.
I don't think Francis Ngannou can just go to Whole Foods right now. He's too well known.
Probably
Right.
not.
And then guys that are like purposely pushing as a personality, Shane O'Malley, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz. Bro, I don't. Maybe Nate, because Nate doesn't give a fuck. But I don't think you're going to see a lot of these guys pushing a shopping cart. People are going to bug the hell out of them.
Yeah,
It's not that friendly. Like, you're a Midwest guy,
yeah,
right? You go to the local Kroger, and just some kid's like, dude, I know who you are. And it's like, nice. And it's just that one kid, and then nothing for 6 months. And then one day, you're like, I think I saw you fight at the Civic Center. That was me, bro. That's cool. High five, and they're on their way. That's not
yep,
the case anymore, man.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I guess it's a pathway to riches, and that's
Mm-hmm.
if that's the pathway you want to walk, that's the pathway you want to walk.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be dope. Not super famous, not movie star famous, but like famous enough that like Burt Kreischer famous. Like you go to a restaurant, and someone's like, I know who you are, dude. You're the man. Like I'd like to be that famous.
So like maybe C plus B minus level.
Yeah. B at most. Once
Yeah,
you're past B, your life gets real shitty.
yeah, yeah. But okay, so in order to get there, it does take money and time and effort and energy. And you've now won $100. I've matched your Instagram income.
That's right.
And it was with the same reels that you post on Instagram, right?
100%. Yeah, man. I gotta get
So
my habit going more of posting on Combat Matrix, because since I do try to earn money doing this stuff, I tend to post a lot, 2 or 3 times a day, and I fucking hate it. It's so much, but I get this bad. Oh, Instagram, but I should be posting on Instagram, YouTube, Vimeo, Combat Matrix, and like just going down the line, because each one of them do have the ability to generate varying amounts of money. So that same video might only make me $10 here and $20 there and $15 there, but altogether I might get, $150 out of that video.
yep.
But it is very time consuming.
Yes. Well, eventually, just so we're back in development with Combat Matrix, and we are working on apps right now, and the goal is by the end of April to actually make it to where now you can sell your content on Combat Matrix. So we're getting to the marketplace, and that's
cool.
Hopefully going to be the way moving forward, especially for like some of your younger and aspiring fighters that you have right now that you're.
Have you thought about this? Is something I've thought about. Like I've tapped a bunch of my friends that work in the fight business as promoters and stuff. You see, when you go to a fight show, the apron has 6, 8, 10 sponsors on it. The ring pads have sponsors on it. Fighters need to learn that same skill set that these promoters have acquired. How do I write a form letter to a business to tell them about who I am, what I do, what I can bring to the table for them, and what I would like in return for that effort? You know what I mean? If these shows can do it, why can't the artists, right? Yes, it's awesome that, Jim's Fight Fest is great. It's a great show. But if Jim doesn't have you and me and the rest of these guys, Jim's got an empty room. So how do we, as leaders in the fight business, in my case coaching, your case media, how do we give the information to the younger generation that, like, this is how you make money, and not to rely on it? Like, I do my very best to get my guys sponsored so that they can focus on their training, right? But that's not my job. I'm a coach. I just happen to have a reasonable idea of how to acquire sponsorships, but I'm not great at it. I've just kind of done it a few times, and I know a few people,
Yep.
But to be able to take a brand that you don't have a relationship with, or maybe a brand that actually has the money to sponsor someone, like, who do you talk to? What departments do we go to? What are we looking for? And then what's a reasonable ask? Money for service. Because as of now in our business, the vast reality is, unless you have a guy who's naturally gifted at sales, your sponsorship of an athlete is just you being a solid dude and taking a tax write-off for it.
Yep, that's true.
There has to be a way that marketing dollar makes a return for the investor, as opposed to it just being like a nice deed of charity.
Well, like, for instance, right, I was sponsored by a buddy of mine. He owns a food truck in Bangkok, Daniel Tiger. It's fucking delicious. It's my favorite burger in Bangkok. And he sponsored me for a few years in my last couple of years of fighting. And basically it'd be one of those things that I would probably go to his food truck once a week, once every other week. And every time I would go, I would make content and I would post it on socials. So it very much became one of those things where, by my active posting on socials, I did actually get people to go to that truck just because I was constantly talking about how good it was.
Yeah.
And, like Colby Covington, for instance, I don't know the name of his sports drink. It's
Bang
called like
Energy.
Booze or Bang. Is that what it is?
He works with the energy drink Bang.
Okay.
He does a lot of promos for them.
Yeah, well, but I mean, that's the thing, right? Is I know he does energy drink. I know that like 100%. And it's one of those things where that's part of the trade-off, I think, in the future is, well, if you want the money for the sponsorship, you better be repping the brand all the time and putting it in your fans' faces, your followers' faces all the time.
Yeah, you have to. Like, I have difficulty with it. I have a website. It sells, t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. Custom gloves, hand wraps. But I feel like such a whore promoting it on Instagram to my followers, my coaching followers. But that's the exact people that I should be promoting to. However, I have no issue promoting a brand sponsor I have, Rev Gear. That's not my company. But I feel weird going, guys, hammerjujitsushop.com, get one of these dope tees there, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Because it's my money and I feel worse about it. But there's also a way to do it where you don't come off as a used car salesman.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure how to do it yet, but I'm working on it.
I think that's probably your fighters. That's the way to do it. Your fighters become your salespeople.
Ideally, yeah. Because they're always repping your gear. They always look good in it.
Yep.
Pardon me, I burped on your show.
But the cogs are turning there, right? Like, I mean, that's the thing is if they're repping it for you, because I feel I also feel dirty kind of about how salesy I've come across trying to talk about Combat Matrix because and obviously I know all the good things about it. I'm creating the damn thing. So everything I do feels like a sales pitch, and I just don't like it,
Yeah. I got over that pretty quick with the gym because everyone that comes in because they want to be here. So I just started looking at it as I am selling you. I'm selling you a product. So in this moment, yes, I'm describing what I provide, but you wanted to know that. That's why you came here. And that took a lot of the pressure off me. But also, at least in my industry, it has a really negative rap for being like used car salesman, like grimy. Hey, you're here. Let's get you on this crazy package. It's super low, dude. It's $20. Don't worry about it. But then 3 weeks later, they get hit with $1,000. They're like, what the fuck is that? And you're like, oh, it's in the fine print. Oh, you can't get it back. That's that's horrible.
Yeah.
And it ruins people for good gyms and good owners.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm sitting behind the desk, even though I'm being super legit, like and straight up, you always got someone here. Yeah, how are you fucking me though? It's like I'm not. This is just what I do. Like, if you don't want to be here, dude, that's cool. You don't have to be. But if you do, these are the rates.
Yeah.
You tell me. I'll call you once in like 3 days. After that, just let me know if people are shocked.
Yeah.
But it kind of eliminates that negative vibe of dude, I didn't even want to be here. These guys fucking conned me. So I'm just going to take advantage because I paid.
Well,
keeps people happy.
That's like the sales tactic stuff, right? And I really hate hard sales. Like I hate like when you walk into a gym because it does. It feels like when you're trying to leave, they won't let you out the door without signing a damn piece of paper. And I know like when I was doing sales and marketing for George, I was very much like an easy sales guy. I was like, hey, we're a family friendly environment here. We've got lots of, families, great community. This is what we provide is a fun time, a good community, a place to learn and grow.
Yeah.
Other than that, like there's the door. You can go. Here's our rates. You can stay. Because it should be something easy and nice for people.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, I mean, in general, like it's it's the way like fighters when they ask me now if Combat Matrix will sponsor them, the answer is always no. The answer is no, but you can come work with me. You can come
Yeah.
do work for me and I'll pay you.
Yeah.
And so like maybe that's what it's got to be. It's got to be a work relationship for sponsorship
Yeah.
instead of a give me money and I'm going to go and fight.
Yeah. The majority of fighters I know, and this is the catch-22, right? If you don't have a following, you're harder to sell.
Yes.
If I look at your Instagram and you're private with 200 followers, you're not looking like someone who's making me money.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're out there doing all this social media shit, you're spending less time getting ready for fighting. You know? And then just as my experience, most people just aren't good at social media. They're
That's
terrible.
true. Yeah.
You know? So the things they post are like, this is important to me. And people are like, what's up? You ordered a sandwich. Yeah. I don't give a shit. And it's badly lit. Shakily filmed. They're like, my people get it. They don't. They don't get it. They don't want it. It's bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's where athletes can stick to their wheelhouse, and that's partly like I think part of the education process in this is, what are some things? I know you've been asked this a million times. I've been asked this a million times. Like, what is your diet? Right? People ask you for a diet plan because you've been an athlete, or people ask you for an exercise plan because you've been an athlete. These are literally two things that athletes can put on their social media that they do anyways. All they got to do is sit their phone next to them and videotape it.
Yeah. And if you're good looking, take your shirt off. It's easy.
Yep.
I do cooking stuff on my Instagram all the time. My wife's a very good cook. I help. So I take clips and videos, and then we take like a cool, like pouring the sauce on top in a slow-mo thing. And no bullshit, those get almost the same amount of views as my fighting stuff. Because everybody eats. Everybody.
Yep.
And when fighters are cutting weight and getting ready for fights, what do they watch? Food porn. Brother, just like, oh my God, I want it.
Yep.
So like, it's part of your life as an athlete, and it's part of everyone's life as a human who needs to eat. So, it's part of the lesson. All right, guys, we're doing meal prep this week. This is Monday through Thursday meals. We're looking at 6 grams of this, 8 grams of that, 2 grams of whatever. That in itself, that's two things a week. First cook, second cook, right? So we're already keeping busy in the algorithm. If you just put we got 2 cooking, we got 2 grappling, we got 2 striking, we got 2 MMA clips a week. Monday through Friday is booked, bro. You're very good.
Yep.
And people will know you as a fighter, know you in your training, see the kind of stuff you do, and then in your cooking and in your like mat side, clips, that's when they find out who you are.
Yep.
And then once people attach themselves, so you can see, oh, that guy's a good athlete. That combo is real dope. I like how that looks. Then they hear me talking a handful of times. It's going, man, he actually seems like a cool dude. Oh, he's into archery. I like archery. Oh, man, we like the same like rapper. Oh, that's my guy now.
Yeah, and it's something where as like I know like my back in the day when I was, fighting for the UFC, I was still working 3 jobs. So like I didn't have the time for socials, but if I wish back in the day, I really, really wish that I had focused more on socials, because it was the dawn of social media is when we were fighting, right?
Yep.
Had we focused on that kind of stuff, our following would be fucking big by now.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
I started posting like instructionals on YouTube super early. Like, I remember my first ever instructional video was a defensive inverted heel hook from knee on belly bottom. And man, some of the comments, because I've gone through a few like YouTube profiles over the years, just a bad name for my branding and shutting that one down. And then one getting banned for copyright music issues because I'm out in the gym. And then like the one I'm using now, which is just my name. So it can't go wrong, you know?
Yeah.
But if I look back, like that video on its first posting was like 200 views. My most recent one, I think, has got like 1,200. But the downside comes, I'm an old school leg locking guy. But because I didn't win any crazy world championships, people are going, "Oh, you stole this from so and so." I'm like, this video's older than that guy. Like, oh, bullshit, blah, blah, like. So then you get the one guy who's into it and like, dude, this is dope. Thanks. But I don't remember what I was complaining about other than people online suck. Your comments. But that shit blows. How many I don't read a lot of comments on any posts I like. But when it's my buddies like John and Fight Circus and my friends, I'll get in the comments and I'll look and dude, 90% of everything is negative, hateful shit. On all my viral videos, 50,000 or more, the comments are all like negative, hateful shit. So it's like for you to gain any posterity, you almost just gotta be like into people hating you. I don't even know.
Yeah, I never really pay attention to comments. Every once in a while
I try
I
not
do,
to.
and I just laugh, and then I move on with my day.
The downside is if you want your profile and your stuff to have larger reach and be boosted in like the discovery algorithms, you got to interact. So this guy going, "You suck dick," you got to be like, "Well, how many dicks do I suck?" So hopefully they come back and they're like 37 dicks, because every time you get a 3-word comment, you jump up the algorithm.
Yeah.
But you got to be a glutton for punishment on that shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Anyways, it's been quite a long and fun and interesting conversation as always. Hey, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Have you done any recent filming for Fight Circus?
No, I haven't talked to John for this next one. I just saw on your story that the next one is March 17th.
Yes, March 17th.
Yeah, that is all I know, and I saw it on your feed today.
Okay. Yeah, we have some interesting stuff coming up here. On the 26th of February, we're gonna have a little mini event, a press conference, if you will, nice little presser, and then John told me I'm gonna be excited for news he has for me today. So,
oh snap!
I know, I am fully excited to see what the hell we're getting into for this next Fight Circus.
I haven't gotten the chance to watch Fight Circus 5. How did the Ladyboy leg wrestling go?
Sexual harassment?
Were they all over you?
Not all over me, but they were handsy.
Hey, when you're that hot, what can you do, Tom?
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know.
I saw you double-legging some girls in thongs. That didn't seem all that horrible. No,
that was great. That was different. That was a Sandy Claus. That was a Sandy Claus sack off. So yeah, that was a wonderful event. I won in that event.
You did. You came out with a big dub for sure.
I'm pretty sure after that I can establish myself as the most envied referee on the planet. I'm not the best.
I wouldn't argue that at all.
Yeah, I don't want to be the best. Herb Dean, like, he can have that, Big John McCarthy,
give me all
they can do that. But all the titties, I'll take the titties.
Ladyboy titties? You heard it here first, folks. Pro Ladyboy titties.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time today.
Oh, man, thanks for having me. And hopefully we'll talk again soon.
hopefully, and then you win another one, and I imagine that means
You'll
that
be in the lead for online income.
in the lead. All right, there we
In the
go.
lead.
All right, dude. I
Awesome,
appreciate your
man.
time.
You too, man. Have a good one.
All right, see you.
Later, bud.
Bye.